from the outside lane to the bottom, right in front of Johnny Sauter as they climb the 31-degree banking of turn 1.
Brett Holmes will lead the field into turn number 2 right now. Johnny Sauter, that second truck on the inside lane, giving him a little bit of drafting assistance, but here comes the outside lane, being led by Tanner Gray. He's got Corey Himes shoving him down the back straightaway.
And he will take over the race lead midway down the super stretch. Tanner Gray, for the first time tonight, out in front at Daytona. He's got a truck length advantage. He'll drop down to the inside lane, but actually drifts back up to the mid-groove of the racetrack. That allows Brett Holmes to find a lane to the inside lane and a bid for the race lead off turn 4.
As they come off of turn number 4, it looks like Tanner Gray in that outside lane.
Chase Purdy and Brett Holmes.
Purdy trying to roll that outside lane now, and he will get the block thrown in front of him, but Tanner Gray can't block them both. It opens up the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Brett Holmes. He wants the lead with drafting help from Johnny Sauter.
He's going to get that lead coming out of turn number 2, at least for just a moment. Half a truck out in front as they race their way up the Daytona super stretch. On the bottom of the racetrack, Brett Holmes, Johnny Sauter, they'll break away in 1 and 2.
Sauter gives Holmes a big shove, and he brings one of the East racing trucks with him as well. It's Bailey Curry. 3-truck breakaway at the front of the field. Make it 4 as the inside lane doors.
Right on the bottom of the racetrack. Here they go.
Sounds like in trying to get the glasses on exactly who it is, it may be Tony Breidinger. Either way, one truck spins to a stop in the infield.
That is Keith McGee that has come to a stop in the infield. Nose of that truck all shoved in after making contact with the wall, putting us under the caution flag for the 6th time. It flies on lap number 46. Dylan, single truck incident as far as you could tell off of turn 4?
Well, I heard what sounded like wall contact because the truck crashed on the straightaway and then spun into the infield. So not sure if there was some sort of mechanical problem that got that Keith McGee truck out of shape, but no other trucks involved from the looks of it or from the sounds of it over here off turn 4.
Yeah, that's a good thing there, but boy, did he ever take a pretty good shot. It looked like a flush shot with the nose of that truck up against the safer barrier. He was well behind the pack. So not sure if it was Dixon's entire crash. He was part of the initial crash, that big one on the Daytona Super Stretch back on lap number 5. So he's making his home out in Alaska. He, if I'm not mistaken, is a United States Air Force veteran, got stationed up there in Alaska, decided, you know what, I'm gonna get out of the Air Force, I want to go racing some way, somehow, be able to put together his own race team and come out and run a handful of races for the last couple of years, just as a part-time schedule in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
And he put us under the caution flag, lap 47, Keith McGee did. Brett Holmes, Johnny Sauter. As we look at the top 10, and again, under caution, Holmes, Sauter, Bailey Curry, Stuart Friesen and Jack Wood, top 10. Taylor Gray, 6th. Matt Crafton, 7th. Christian Eckes, 8th. 9th, Chase Purdy. And 10th at the moment, under caution, Tyler Akro.
So 47 laps are complete, 53 to go. You see Keith McGee being aided by the AMR safety team into one of the ambulances to be taken to the infield care center to be evaluated after that hard crash coming off the turn number 4 all by himself. That's at least the second accident that Keith McGee has been involved in tonight. Remember, he got part of that lap 5 crash of the Daytona Super Stretch at the beginning of the race.
How about the race leader, the 32 truck from Munford, Alabama? That is Brett Holmes, an independent team. His sophomore season in the Craftsman Truck Series played pitch strategy to be able to get the race lead. Johnny Sauter, winner of stage 1, rides there in the 2nd position, and the 41 truck of Bailey Curry having a great opportunity with Nice Motorsports, earning this off of performance from 1 year ago, running inside the top 3.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, experience the history and prestige of the World Center of Racing and the Speedway Tour. Daytona International Speedway Tramp Tours run daily. They leave every 30 minutes and last about 60 minutes. We also have VIP tours that take you on an exclusive stop to the NASCAR archives and Research Center and Press Box. For more information, you can visit their website at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Visit our ticket office also here at Daytona International Speedway. Purchase online or by calling 1-800-PIT-SHOP. So Keith McGee now being taken to the infield care center as his truck now is going to be towed back to the garage area. All right, so under caution for the 6th time tonight, almost halfway home, the freshman Florida 250. It's once again time for Selfie Cam at the Daytona International Speedway. Halfway home in the fresh from Florida 250 as here comes the field at a turn number 4, double wide, getting ready for the restart. On the front row, you've got Brett Holmes and Johnny Sauter. Those two trucks once again side by side.
He pulls away to a truck length lead. The battle now is for second. Bailey Curry's got the inside line of the racetrack. He's going to try and follow his teammate, Johnny Sauter.
Sauter had gotten out to about a 3-truck length lead, but now the field will gobble him up on the back straightaway. They have arrived at his back bumper. Question is, can they get around it? On the outside, Brett Holmes is going to give it a shot. Side by side for the lead.
Holmes is
has got help from Jack Wood in that outside lane. Sauter has help from Bailey Curry in the bottom lane. Side by side, 10 rows deep.
Tanner Gray back there also working that outside lane. And Dave, it's not over.
Both of them have got drafting help about 6, maybe 7 rows deep. There's a third lane beginning up high, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, it's comprised of Corey LaJoy and Ben Rhodes.
Those two are up to the 7th row. 3 wide action halfway up the back straightaway here at Daytona International Speedway.
They're going. They're cooking.
Here comes Johnny Sauter down low. Holmes will throw the block.
Oh my God.
Lane is moving.
Look
They're
at that
inside the top
ride.
5 already. LaJoy 3 wide with Bailey Curry, Johnny Sauter, and LaJoy in the outside lane. Here they come. Look at the second.
Oh, it's going to get twitchy off turn 4. Everybody keeps it moving. Trying to keep the field at bay.
Second and third lanes are all formulated up high. Corey LaJoy to the outside. Here he comes. He wants a piece of the lead. LaJoy stampeding that extreme high line for the #1 position.
Everybody holding their breath here at Daytona, hoping this pack stays intact. Corey LaJoy wants to keep the lead. He's been forced to the middle. He can't do it. Holmes will lead down low. Sauter behind him. Here comes Ben Rhodes to the outside.
The LaJoy truck is backsliding. He's stuck in the middle as they try to get back to 2 wide, a little bit deeper in the field. For now, it's 1, 2, 3, single file on the bottom.
3 wide, 5 deep. Here they come. Deep behind that, it's a Hornet's nest.
It's an absolute has the amount of racing room they'd like to have at this point. Ben Rhodes leads that second lane. He is side by side in a battle for 5th, not making any ground. As a matter of fact, he's going to lose his spot to Corey LaJoy.
Now the front 5 will fall into single file, bottom of the racetrack against the double yellow line. Stacked up from 6th on back. Double wide, no 3 wide action this time through.
LaJoy has got help from Grant Infinger as that battle for the 6th spot now goes to single file. LaJoy at the back of the single file train around the bottom led by Brett Holmes.
55 down, 45 laps to go here tonight. Jack Wood, that is your top 5. Corey LaJoy, Stuart Friesen, Nick Sanchez, that is your top 10. What a night it's been so far, Alex.
In the Fresh from Florida 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
So they work their way down the Daytona Super Stretch. Pretty good racing going on at the front of the pack as Brett Holmes continues to lead. However, he has got Johnny Sauter right in his hip pocket, not allowing any breathing room behind Brett Holmes right now as they work their way off of the corner. The first side-by-side battle is for 5th as they exit turn 4.
Trying to build that freight train on the high lane of the racetrack. A bit of a wiggle that time out of Corey LaJoy on the front straightaway.
Watching one truck that is 4th in line to the inside. That is the 17 of Taylor Gray. We have not mentioned his name really at all tonight, but he has found himself now inside of the top 5. He's side by side with Corey LaJoy down the backstretch.
Corey LaJoy continuing to get a push from Grant Infinger behind in the 9 truck. He'll draw alongside. Now Johnny Sauter steps up in the outside lane. That pushes Corey LaJoy out 3 wide all the way to the top side of the racetrack, and he gets chuckled out of the track.
Oh!
Brett Holmes spins off turn number 4. We got other trucks crashing. The inside wall with the left side of his Chevrolet Silverado, and we're under caution for the 2nd time tonight here in Daytona.
The 2-truck incident that happened at the front of the field, right off turn number 4. The race leader was Brett Holmes. He got spun around. in the incident, but Bailey Curry, who was running inside the top 5 at the moment, his truck now on pit road, the left side damage. He hit pretty good on the driver's side up against the inside safer barrier just off the skid pad in turn 4. But it does bring us under the 7th caution of the night, 57 laps complete, and the fresh from Florida 250 for the Craftsman Truck Series.
Stuart Friesen, you see some damage from an earlier incident. That left front Toyota Tundra, the left front of his Toyota Tundra, that is, still damaged from earlier crashes, but he is limping around this 2.5-mile track. There is Brett Holmes. It looks like he does have damage. He originally looked like he was just going to spin harmlessly down off the racetrack. He slapped the inside run right near pit wall on the left side of his truck.
That 32.
See the team for Bailey Curry trying to pound out the right rear fender to get that away from the tire so it does not rub at all. Either way, it is the 7th yellow flag of the night here in the fresh from Florida 250. And it was getting pretty tight coming off of turn number 4. They had kicked Corey LaJoie up to the outside 3 wide. Unfortunately for Brett Holmes, who was the leader, came off of turn number 4 in the bottom of the racetrack and lost control. I'm not sure if there was contact behind.
He's now on pit road. The right front tire is down. Let's take a look at it here on the NASCAR TV screen. This is on the back straightaway. Watch the 7th truck on the outside lane. First of all, it's Johnny Sauter who threw the block. That forced Corey LaJoie up high, but watch the 2 trucks in the bottom lane of the racetrack. The race leader, the 32 of Brett Holmes, is there, and as they came up off turn 4, the truck turned sideways. Then Bailey Curry, separate incident, goes sliding sideways. He makes contact with the inside of that safer barrier. Brett Holmes able to narrowly avoid hitting the inside wall.
Let's check in with Daryl.
So, you know when you're walking around the track and you see some like merchandise, you're like, oh, that must be a Nick Sanchez fan, right? I mean, they have the shirt on. Then I go up and I say, are you a Nick Sanchez fan? And you said what?
I'm Grandma.
Nick Sanchez is Grandma and this is Grandpa. And there's Dad. So they're just like us. They're watching the race. How's Nick doing so far? Enjoying the race just like the rest. Best of luck to your grandson and to your son as well. Nice to meet you guys. Monica, where are you at?
That is just so cute. I just heard her tell Daryl she's just so proud of him. I know she's enjoying seeing him out there racing. Meeting so many people. And I found this couple, Jerry and Elaine Miller from Wisconsin. They've been to Daytona 500. What'd you say, 63 years?
He was 63. I'm a little younger.
That a girl, I love it. She said, excuse me, sir. She said she was a little bit younger. He's been coming here for 63 years. Tell me why you keep coming back to Daytona.
We've been racing all our lives. Our son races yet, the super lates and dirt lates and everything. But that's all we've ever done.
I love it. It's part of your life, right? His son raced and they come back here, enjoy the racing. You know, this is the most prestigious track. Everybody wants to win at Daytona, but it's not always about racing. It's about the community, the race fans having to coming back each and every year. 63 years. We got to get these little race fans up on NASCAR TV. We're still having a good time out here in the Hard Rock Bet Fan Zone.
All right, thank you, Monica and Daryl, again taking in all the sights from the Hard Rock Bet Fan Zone here at Daytona International Speedway. As we work the caution flag for the 7th time. There was a round of pit stops under this caution. Nick Sanchez was the first truck off pit road among the trucks that pitted. Brett Holmes is back on pit road for service after spinning just a moment ago.
We've got a new race leader, Grant Enfinger, in the 9 truck out in front, directly ahead of the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes. So we'll keep an eye on that. 1 to go at the line, as shown from atop the flag stand.
So they will get the 1-to-go signal. There will be more trucks that are going to peel off and come down pit road, possibly to top off with fuel. We are kind of in that window now. As maybe some of these crews think they can make it to the end on fuel. Maybe. We have 40 laps to go right now. If Bear is in for looks like a splash of fuel, Timon Jeske as well. Rhodes
almost collided with the truck of Jack Wood on pit road. Rhodes was leaving his pit stall. Pit stall Jack Wood nearly collects Jimmy Hill, who is in the grass of the ball field here at Daytona to avoid contact on pit lane.
So all these teams just trying to top off with fuel as we'll get the green flag next time by.
Working under the caution flag, but we're ready to put it away and get the green flag back out. And when it does, it'll be lap number 61, getting ready for a Geico restart. Presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook confusing? Make it easy. Switch to Geico.
Daytona. Are you ready to see the green flag here again for the CrossFit Truck Series? They come off turn 4. Dick Sanchez finds himself on the inside of row 1. Johnny Sauter up top in the outside lane, doubled up and ready to get back after it here at the World Center of Racing. 39 laps to go when they see the green flag here this time through. His truck heads for cover on pit road.
Sanchez has got the advantage into turn number 1 by about a truck length now. Johnny Sauter trying to rally the troops up high, but he's not got much momentum. As a matter of fact, Matt Crafton's going to drive under him. Move Crafton to the number 3 spot.
Leaders to the back straightaway. Nick Sanchez is the head maestro for the first time of the night. He is controlling the field, that is. He's got Taylor Gray behind him. Matt Crafton is well. They're side by side up from there on back.
Taylor Gray was trying to control that back bumper of Sanchez into turn number 3. They separate a little bit. It's a 1-through-3 breakaway, and they're side by side.
Boy, you get back there, and Johnny Sauter is working that outside line.
Super Speedway College here in the next couple of laps. If he can hang on to Johnny Sauter, and if he can stand the help he's getting from behind for Coil Joy.
Just outside the top 10, here's Ben Rose. He's going to step out, go 3 wide up against the outside wall, midway down the back straightaway. That third lane has got momentum, but now it'll stall out of the entrance of 3.
It's not a ton of help. 2 or 3 trucks lined up there in that outside lane. They're getting progress made up to about the 8th or 9th spot as they work to make them off.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, they're going to go wheel to wheel yet again as they make Taylor Gray is there. He'll go to the inside of Johnny Sauter for the number 2 position.
Johnny Sauter in the high lane or the middle lane right now, because as we mentioned, Ben Rhodes still trying to work that extreme high groove 3 wide.
They are leaning on each other for second. They're 3 wide for 4th, and Mad scramble down the back straightaway. Ben Rhodes making progress. Lane 3 in full effect. 3 wide for second.
Here they come. Ben Rhodes with help from Christian Eckes in the very high lane up near the outside safer barrier. Got to second, then lost a little bit of his help there. 3 wide side by side for the lead.
Boy, that outside lane is rolling. Who shoved him all the way to the top spot.
The 2-time and defending Craftsman Truck Series champion Ben Rhodes let it ride.
take advantage of that move, Nick Sanchez.
3 wide for the lead!
Racetrack, but the inside line gets the advantage. Rhodes with a draft from Christian Eckes. They will break free in first and second.
Those two working really well together. 3 wide behind those top 2. Nick Sanchez and Tanner Gray on the inside lane. They'll go ahead and single out 1 4.
Got to be careful not to get too far out in front of the race. Now to go to the bottom of the racetrack.
They have gone to the bottom. Going to take the short way around for a moment and see if anybody else has got the wherewithal to travel. For a moment at least, it'll stay 75.
And the pack finally exhales coming off turn number 2. 4-truck breakaway up front. Race leader right now is Ben Rhodes. Christian Eckes. You've also got Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray, and that 4-truck breakaway.
Corey LaJoy leading the next batch of race trucks, which is single filed out now all the way just about to the top 10. First side-by-side battle is Matt Crafton inside Tyler Ankrum.
34 laps to go. Who's in? Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray, Corey LaJoy, top 5. Daniel Dye, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Tanner Gray, Tyler Ankrum, top 10. Cole Custer, what are you watching?
Man, I mean, I think everybody's getting aggressive. You know, the top lane fell apart a little bit there. Who's going to take that jump and leap of faith into the top lane and really pull that lane forward? Because if you can, that's your ticket to the front of the pack.
But you got to be careful because somebody will see that run coming, will put the block on, and you better be hoping that the truck behind you is paying close attention. Off turn 4, they come yet again.
Johnny Sauter, there's never been a lick of quit in his game plan. He has gotten shuffled back just outside the top 5, but he's rallying that middle lane for a comeback.
Cole just asked which driver's going to jump to the outside line and drag it forward. The answer is Johnny Sauter. He is up to position number 3, although Nick Sanchez has something to say about that.
Sauter charging here on the entry to turn 3. Tyler Ankrum behind him as they work into the banking of 3. Chase Curry there as well. They're making progress up to 3rd.
Top 2, nose to tailgate, battle for 3rd is side by side. Who's leading that outside lane. He's a 3-time winner here. His name is Johnny Sauter.
He knows the way to victory lane here at the World Center of Racing. Doesn't really matter which lane you leave him. He'll take it and he'll beat you with it. Oh, near contact. He and Rhodes get together. Sauter off the racetrack, but hangs on to it.
And Sauter has pulled that outside line up into a battle for the lead. Here comes Johnny Sauter right at the middle of the racetrack. Fending around in front. Ben Rhodes gets a shot.
Pushing and shoving into the banking at 3. Christian Eckes trying to push the inside lane, led by Ben Rhodes back to the front. He'll do so. Rhodes in control. Eckes and Sauter side by side.
A whole lot of wiggle room from the bottom of the racetrack because to the Johnny Sauter to the leaderboard. Contact with the number 2 spot. They get away with it, headed to 1.
Boy, they're racing very aggressively for 2nd, 3rd, 4th position. Ben Rhodes has got the 2 position, closes in once again on the back bumper of Johnny Sauter.
Jack Sauter up right now, coming out of the corners. Johnny Sauter had to hang on to that truck. Ben Rhodes just shoving him out the corner. They will separate bumpers. Sauter with a half truck length of advantage. It's Rhodes to 2nd, and here comes Ankrum to the outside.
He's leading that outside lane with hope for Chase. Inside lane, Ben Rhodes and Christian Eckes with Sauter.
With 30 laps to go, somebody had to bail out of the It's Ben Rhodes. Kim Kuhn, this has got to be unscheduled.
And I believe he had a tire going down. I clicked onto their radio and heard tire. The crew on the right side right now, they will take off both tires. Right now, the crew is looking up under the right front cap, pulling out the fender. They will actually... So the tire issue for Ben Rhodes.
I believe was the one that got door slammed on the short straight line. drafting help whatsoever. Ben Rhodes at 55 miles an hour just trying to get off the pit lane because the field is rumbling off turn 4.
Yeah, better hurry because we're Chase Purdy working the inside lane, clipped the timing line in position number 1, Dave.
Chase Purdy's been very quiet, very methodical, just slowly but surely making his way to the front as Ben Rhodes makes his way off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes the pack, trying to chase him down.
Tip of the cap to Tyler Ankrum. Last time on the back straightaway, Chase Purdy gave him the bump that went wrong. Ankrum got sideways, rooted him out of the lane, and Chase Purdy now will go to the lead at Daytona.
He's about had a wreck the last 2 laps off turn 4. See if everybody can keep it going straight this time. Chase Purdy in control, leading the inside lane over Nick Sanchez. Christian Eckes controlling the outside.
Turn number 4, Eckes on the outside.
LaJoy will dive to the bottom as well. That leaves the top 3 all in the low line as they make their way now. Off turn number 2, closing in on the soon-to-be lap truck of Ben Rhodes.
Incredible leaders, and they are catching him quickly. Rhodes is staying right down there. The leader's going to have a choice to make. Eckes bearing down. The whole field bearing down. Rhodes goes to the top, and he's running in 3.
Oh boy, that is dangerous, but everybody going to go high and low, and Rhodes should be safe, and he'll fall to the back of this lead drive. He gets selected by Tony Bryan, who looks like maybe
Ben Rhodes, and I thought what Mike said worked perfectly. They just split him. You had the inside lane flying by, the outside lane flying by. It looked like just about everybody was prepared to change Ben Rhodes. Well, not so fast. Fill us in, Dylan.
Well, it looked like maybe Rhodes either tried to get down or somebody else just clipped him in the process of going by him, and he got sideways, and then everybody scattered. Trucks on the apron, trucks up on the outside. Don't think anybody else made any wall contact or even contact with Ben as he spun, because there was about 15 trucks or so that had to get on the brakes and try and figure out where that truck was going to pirouette out of control to. So good job of everybody missing that one in the back half of the field, but it's going from bad to worse for Rhodes.
It has indeed. Now Kim Coon's in the pit. Kim had the unscheduled stop for the flat tire. Did they fix the problem with that first stop?
Well, Ben wasn't convinced that they had fixed it. Like I mentioned, they were up in the right front under their wheel well, kind of pulling out the fender because the tire rub had caused that. When Ben went back out on the racetrack, he said he could still see snow. So still a tire leak, and now the damage is just a little bit of everywhere. The right side damage, not really contact. What they're really paying close attention to right now. The fender, they're trying to kind of just dent it in. There's a big hole in that left front fender, so they're bringing out the bear bond. So the luck gets worse here at Daytona for Ben Rhodes.
I think having a look at it on replay, NASCAR TV here, at the stadium, it would appear as though that tire went down again, Kim, and that was the reason. Ben did a whale of a job to try to save it with people rocketing by on either side.